How are we doing, Beatstar players? For today's video, we are going to be doing a Beatstar Tour Pass ranking video, which is going to be taking a look at the first 7 Tour Passes that Beatstar has put out, and looking at the songs, the emotes, but I don't even think the emotes will play much of a factor, but anyway, the banners, I guess, but that also won't be probably much, and basically just any changes that happened during that season and kind of trying to take it in. And we are going to decide which tour pass was really good, which tour pass was questionable, or which ones were just not even that good. And now let's get straight into it. For the first season of the Beatstar Tour Pass, it was called Holiday Mix, which made sense because it was around Christmas time when they did their first seasonal tour pass. It came with 9 songs, with Candy Cane Lane, Come and Go, Indigo, Viva la Vida, Mistletoe, Symphony, 7 Rings, Fairy Tale of New York, and Figure It Out. Now, this one is kind of controversial because, first of all, it's the first one, so it was their first one that they created, so there wasn't much starting point for Beatstar. I feel like they did good in terms of, like, the banners and their one emote. I mean, that was kind of okay, cool, it was decent. But at the same time, they did mess up with the fact that they only had one hard, which was also with the one extreme and Figure It Out. So 7 Rings is the hard, and then Figure It Out was the extreme. I think that was a little bit of a disappointment, but as you'll see, Beatstar did eventually adjust to this, and they eventually added more hards into the tour pass. But it was in this season, and something else I did want to bring up was that in the beginning of Beatstar tour passes, for the free bundle, you only could get, I think, one song, and that was for like level 30 or level 25. So just wanted to point a little bit out, but I mean, this tour pass was okay. I don't mind these songs, but I think it's questionable. And so with that, I think the right place to put it is B tier. I think because it's right in the middle, it's its first season, and and for the rest of the tour passes, it would have a lot of room to grow and improve. So I think B, right in the middle, is a pretty good spot for the first season. Alright, for our second season of Beatstar, this was the Love Mix. So again, keep in mind this was around Valentine's Day. So they added a lot of like Valentine's Day type emotes with the hearts and Valentine's Day banners. So we will keep that in mind. But they added ABC Nicer, Mrs. Independent, or Miss Independent, Sing, 24 Karat Magic, Feel It Still, Anaconda, Ride-In, American Idiot, and Without You. Now, again, like I said on the last one, they did improve and added more hards this time by adding 24 Karat Magic, Feel It Still, Anaconda, and American Idiot as the 4 hards of this season's tour pass, and still keeping the extreme flow with Ride-In as the main extreme. Now, to be honest, I was okay. I didn't mind this season. With the charts of Anaconda and American Idiot, I thought were pretty cool. However, in my opinion, the other 2 hards were a bit questionable. I didn't really enjoy the other ones. And the normals, besides ABC Nicer, I think the rest of the normals were kind of meh for me. I didn't enjoy the other normals as much as I did with ABC Nicer. And the extreme was questionable. It was challenging. It was fast, but it's an extreme, right? What can you say, right? So, I don't know. For me, I think I would put this just below the Beatstar, or just below Season 1, because I personally didn't have, like, a feeling for the songs. I didn't think they were that good, but they didn't make much changes, so besides adding the hards, so I'm gonna probably put it in C. I think it's normal. It has a couple good songs. It's got, in my opinion, ABC Nicer, American Idiot, Anaconda. I guess you could say Feel It Still. I actually don't mind that one too much. But other than that, I would say C tier fits this season perfectly. For season 3, this was the Spring Break mix, which contained All Night, The Middle, I Am Woman, The Business, Post Malone, Animals, No Hands, Party Hard, and I Like Me Better. Now, to be honest, I don't mind the emotes. I don't mind the banners. But I did enjoy most of these songs. I enjoyed I Like Me Better. Animals, I thought was, I kind of slowly got into it, but at first it was kind of annoying, but it was what it was. The Middle was a good song. The Business was a good song. No Hands is a decent song. Party Hard, I would say, is pretty decent. But, yeah. The only song that I would probably not enjoy as much is All Night, but other than that, everything else was great. The only other thing that I'm going to slightly critique about Season 3 is the fact that they did add more Journey songs. So at the same time, as I would give it S tier, I do want to consider that they did add more Journey songs. And which kind of ruined the game for Infinity, with people who had Infinity play, but at the same time couldn't maximize their potential to keep their Infinity play and to keep getting the DPs. But I still think it was necessary to add it. But that's the only thing I'm gonna critique. I think it was a bit questionable to add the Journey songs, but again, not much to hate about this season. I'm still putting it in A tier. This was a really pretty good season. Alright, season 4 of the Beatstar Tour Pass is the Iconic Mix, which contained 9 songs. It contained Mood, Levels, The Trooper, Intentions, You Can't Touch This, Boom Boom Pow, The Less I Know The Better, Push It, and Every You and Every Me. And those are the 9 songs. They, again, continued with the flow of 4 hards, 4 normals, and extreme, with The Trooper probably being the hardest extreme in the game. Yet, again, they did a really good job with charting these songs. The Trooper was hard, but it was still enough to be likable, which I give credit for. Wait a minute. Oh, I think it's just broken. But we do have You Can't Touch This. We had Boom Boom Pow. Intentions is kind of popular. It's a questionable song, but yeah. And then we had Levels. I think the hards were great this season. And the normals were pretty good as well, to complement everything else. But Beatstar didn't do much on the outskirts of that I can think of. They didn't do much else with the Journey or anything in that realm. But this season was still really, really good. And I'm going to be honest, I don't really see any reason to not put it in S tier. It literally is everything. It has the best extreme, probably the best hards we've had so far, and some pretty good normals. So I'm definitely gonna put this in S tier. Okay, so here is the already debatable Season 5, Africa to the World. The title's already different right off the bat, but we got Love Nawadi, Ride It, Peru, All My Life, Problems, 3 Nights, Jerusalem, Perfect Strangers, and Insane in the Brain. This song is so controversial, or this season is just so controversial for me, because as bad as it looks, because they didn't have an extreme, and they had 5 hards and 4 normals. You know, they were decent enough. Love Nawadi. You had Ride It. You had All My Life, I guess. And then, but what's really tough for me is they also had probably my favorite normal in the history of the tour pass so far in Insane in the Brain and Perfect Strangers. And Three Nights is pretty good, just the chart's a bit questionable. Jerusalem, I to be honest, I haven't even played it. I saw the chart, I've never played it, so we're just gonna go with that. And yeah, Peru is just not a good song, just not. No one can tell me otherwise. It's just not a good song. This was during the Hold Tick days. This was the beginning stage of Hold Ticks, which was not a good decision. So I think this is going to be our first and probably only D tier. Needs some work because come on, you can't add Hold Ticks after 10 months of Beatstar. Just not a good idea. Here is the Season 6 Tour Pass. It was called Freedom, with songs as Montero, Heat Waves, Sandstorm, That's the Way, I Like It, Two Princes, Gold Dust, King, Heavy Cross, and I Think I'm Okay. Now, to be honest, this was also pretty controversial for me. Not gonna lie. They only had 3 hards this time and added 5 normals. I'm pretty sure. I'm not crazy. Yeah, they added 5 normals instead of 4 normals and the 4 hards. They added 5 normals and 3 hards, which was kind of controversial for me. Because honestly, I am not a fan of Two Princes. I like Montero. I don't mind it. It's an easy, cool chart. Gold Dust is Gold Dust. Sandstorm, I just don't. I'm not a fan of like when you have music that is just constant repeating notes. Like, and for Beatstar, it's just, not with the charting that they did for it. It was what it was. It was meant like the song. It's just, when it's a song like that, I'm just not a fan of those types of songs where there's not much like rhythmic silences. But, it is what it is. But Sandstorm wasn't bad. We got Heat Waves, King, and basically all the normals are meh. Okay. Hards, like I said, Gold Dust, Montero, and then Sandstorm. If you want me to be honest, I'm gonna probably give this song C. Because the normals I don't mind. It's just they're normals. With the same whole tick issue, but they fixed it by the end of the season, and so yeah, I'd probably say C tier. That makes the most sense with what the songs are. And for the new Tour Pass, Beatstar Tour Pass Season 7, we had another introduce of 9 songs, with keeping the back to the one extreme again. We had 4 hards, 4 normals. It was back to basically the normal Beatstar Tour Pass system. Which is fine. I just don't like We Live Forever. I just am not a fan. I don't like the chart. I don't like anything about it. The song's okay. I maybe will listen to it. I may play it, but it's just not my thing. Hysteria's a good one. Kryptonite, I like it. Obviously the chart's a bit questionable, but I don't mind it myself. Take Me Out's good. Domino is a song that was kind of a classic for me, so that's nice. And all the hards, to be honest, besides Hysteria and You Spin Me Around, I'm not really into any of the other ones, so that's that. However, one thing that does bring this season up for me is for the fact that they did, or probably already are, as you're watching the video have added multiplayer events, and they're going to be adding more events on the come up before Season 7 ends. And they probably also added more songs to Journey. So I am going to move this up to probably just above the Season 1 and above to B tier, and say this was a pretty successful season. Here's the rankings. We have the Season 4 in first and everything else following right behind it. And I hope you enjoyed today's video with doing this, and I'll see you in the next one.